trades are sublime.
Artezinho na curta, de bunker, o primeiro, o segundo, vai Artezinho!
Meu Deus!
Here with the coach of MIBR, Fraud, a beautiful ending to that map. It's getting away with stuff that you maybe shouldn't have gotten away with. What in the end? Was it EG's mistakes? Was it your just game plan? How did you run away with that map?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they made mistakes. I think that we had a good read on what they kind of like to do and how we can abuse some of those things. And I think it was really just focusing on those key elements like the lurking, finding those gaps to try and the way that they play, the comp that they play. So it was really just resorting back to some of the homework that we did and just have faith in it that it's going to work, and we came out in the end.
When you say the way that they play, can you be specific about what you mean?
Not too much, but a lot of elements based from FPS, and also the comp doesn't allow them to have certain info and certain things. So for us, we know that if we make pressure, certain gaps are opened and left to be abused. So for us, it was more of just exploiting some of the way that they like to play their defense, which is great, but also, not everything is perfect. So I think we found the answer to how they play.
All right, well, I appreciate your candor. Best luck on map 2.
Always a pleasure to hear from Coach Fraud, who broke it down there for us. And, well, I mean, look, guys, that was absolutely beautiful from MIBR. EG had so many opportunities there, but Emily just felt like the big important part was that MIBR never lost faith in their system, just like what you heard Fraud say there. They knew where the gaps were and they knew how to exploit it.
Oh, for sure. I think they should have had, I don't think that game should have been as close as it was. Their defense, I think they were playing it really well. They were playing super proactive, taking that early space, pushing off of pressure further. If it weren't for EG pulling those clutches out of a hat, I think the game wouldn't have been as close.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, Emily, and also picking back to what Fraud was mentioning before, just understanding some gaps that they could exploit. So if you're looking at it from the composition that you're running a Vice, and you're trying to be more active and proactive on placing your walls and your trips on the post plant scenarios.
Yeah.
So you saw in this beginning of the rounds where EG's continuing to push towards this B site at the very beginning, then you just push towards the A side all the time and just keep them locked in this point where you have an MIBR, that's able to play some great retakes.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for these clutches that you're currently seeing here from Superman and also from Ye right here, it wouldn't have been a 6-6 half. This potentially would have been an 8-4, a 9-3, even if EG won first pistol.
And I think that is the big thing to take away from this, right? It's not, not trying to, disparage EG at all, but it was very evident that when MIBR wanted to hit that win button, they did so, and they did so with authority. And you've even seen it in the tail end of that game there, Emily, where EG was trying to take the space, trying to get into the face of MIBR because they realized that's what they were doing, and they were just getting shut down. What was the difference maker there for you?
I think they were just winning more fights, to be honest.
Yeah. Straight up.
Straight up. Did you see Aspas versus Icy there?
Yeah. Oh, he was absolutely disgusting. And then also, too, let's not forget another player as well, Emily. Cortesia.
Yeah, Cortesia,
My guy
yes.
was unreal. So, yeah, we wanted to see him really shine here, and he definitely performed. What did you feel like were some of the shining moments for him in that game?
Oh, my gosh. On defense, being left alone on that island and still being able to get his and more majority of the rounds. His really impactful lurk there when they were down, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 10-9 or
Yeah, it was 10-7,
yeah, 10-7.
something like that. That lurk was huge.
Yeah, the thing is, we have a classic EG where they get double digits, they get to the point, we mentioned it at the desk, and then suddenly they just let it slip. And when the team's starting to catch up, their opponents are starting to catch up, they're not winning duels. But yeah, Cortesia moving through, we saw a round where even we wanted right over here, coming
that
in
round was huge.
New, and to get a double kill, a triple kill, and the players pushing through, that's what you want coming out from your newcomer from Cortesia.
And honestly, I was really worried about the momentum there, MIBR being down rounds, but the fact that they're still able to come back into the game, close it out, despite losing all those clutches, despite losing both pistols, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, and now we find ourselves with an MIBR up in this series, 13-10, thanks to that win on Abyss that they managed to lock down. So now we get ready for Split, and I'm quite curious to get your guys' take on this and where we are as far as where the meta goes and how things feel. What is your take for Split as we get ready?
We haven't seen it yet from MIBR, but I'm expecting to potentially see Aspas here on this race. But for EG, not to change anything, to still come out here with a chamber and try to have that head-to-head duel between what we talked about at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, couldn't agree more on that one. All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and hear what Potter has to say as we get ready for map number 2, and we'll keep the conversation going.
Here with the coach of Evil Geniuses, Potter. Now, that was a map that kind of ran away from you at the end. When I spoke to Nature earlier, he said you have a very specific game plan. With the map results and with your reliance on kind of clutches and hero plays, did the game plan really work?
No, it didn't. It didn't. It did not work. You know, we had some individual mistakes. It was a very slow start for us, which is odd because this is definitely one of our favorite maps. We just got to lock in. We've got to lock in for map 2. This entire series, actually, a lot of the maps are a lot of fun for us. So I hope we start having fun in maps 2 and 3 and loosen up a bit.
Well, do or die. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Look, I'll be honest, Coach Potter, it's hard to have fun when you got Cortesia out there just absolutely owning. Aspas is diffing everyone. And also you have players that are just missing the shots that like they need to hit. There were a few rounds there where, you know, you were really hoping, Emily, to see EG really find those kills and find those moments that they did in that first half. It just wasn't coming. But now we're getting ready for Split. We haven't really seen much out of this, but do you think we're going to get some Teo? Do you think, what kind of compositions are you interested in?
I'm definitely hoping to see a Teo Breach combination here on Split. And I'm also hoping to see them bring back Chamber onto Ye so we can see what Ender was raving so much about in that pre-show. Yeah. I want to see the Ye. I want to see the Icy duo.
Yeah, Chamber. Do you think that happens?
It definitely should happen. I mean, we saw it before. They pulled it the last time they played against Loud, and it was another one of those games where they actually did have the lead, and then unfortunately let that slip where I think Loud brought that and won it in OT. So that is going to be another very tough matchup here for EG, who do manage to pick up this map. But the thing is Potter was mentioning that game plan didn't work out as anticipated on that first map of Abyss. I think it's also just very similar to just EG in that style. Under the heat of the moment, they lose those fundamentals, not clearing corners. For example, when they played against Loud as well on Pearl, the 1v2 is something that Nature could have won at the same time, but didn't pay attention to the time that was left. So making sure that they stay calm in these situations to be able to close out those moments. And they're not able to do that in the last few series.
Yeah, the fundamentals, especially at this critical juncture in the competition, it's going to be so important for our teams to focus on here, especially for EG as they're close to facing elimination here. We're going to take a quick break. Map 2 coming up right after this. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. We are locked in between EG and MIBR. They just took away MIBR did. Map 1, and yes, it was their map pick, Dre, but it does feel like it was taken away from EG, and again, well done on MIBR to be able to do that.
Yeah, and this just seems like the story for this EG roster. They get so many advantages, not only in the rounds, in the map, and they just throw it all away. But MIBR, they're not a team that's going to just let you do these mistakes and not maximize on them. So they took full advantage of that, and this is very interesting. We haven't seen this comp in quite some time. It's a double duelist on this next map of Split.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. And I mean, when was the last time we saw Artscene on that duelist role as well? It was last year.
And we're getting the Chamber for Ye.
Yep. Iconic Jet duel versus Chamber. We live for moments like these. Oh my goodness.
How do you expect the Chamber to play on a map like Split? What does EG need to do to activate Ye?
You almost want a mask where Ye is playing so you can funnel the attackers into the op, especially when you're on the defensive side. On the attack, what we saw already from Ye was taking a lot of that aggressive A space on his own, trying to take those 50-50s, which he'll have plenty of chances to do against this double duelist comp. The question is when we flip the sides, how are EG going to deal with the offensive aggression from the double duelist?
It's going to be a lot to weather, but the question has to be answered. For now, though, I think eyes, again, go back towards the Chamber, go back towards Ye. A little bit of presence made from MIBR towards mid. Got that Viper wall up towards A, very common one that you see on Split. Allows you to kind of contact up. But I love where MIBR are playing. They're playing ahead of that wall to take that contact possibility away. So even if the wall's toggled up and down, they don't know.
Yeah, and they're double swinging on those angles as well, just in case Ye is there with the chamber. But Ye's actually all the way pushed up B. Just now, maybe getting a little bit of a fight, jump spotting.
And taking a ton of damage off of it.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, Derek does have that heal online, opting to go full utility. It's the power of the sky. Nothing to heal up Cortesia on the other side. But the re-clearing from MIBR, they understand that most likely most of these members are geared up towards mid.
I mean, they've taken so much space away. Again, this spell's disaster. They're going to have to win these gunfights if they want to alleviate some of this pressure because they've been fully corralled in. Cortesia not able to find the success he was on Abyss.
Yeah, big pickup right there from Icy. This 1v1 doesn't go the way of nature.
No,
not ready for it.
His hands betrayed him. Given away, and now EG in this weird no man's land. They're going to throw a smoke towards B, but then try to head A, and it might work.
Almost in a pickle right there. Time is running extremely low right now. 10 seconds, Doug.
Nazwer could end the round himself. The TP across, nicely done from Soup, but not choosing to take that fight. Massive out from Icy. Still work to be done, though. Artsy sanding the shots. Icy falling. Oh, that's another.
Disastrous for EG. Superman, he can't clutch this time around. MIBR, the way that they just moved around the map on this defensive side, constantly re-clearing spaces where EG was, and Cortesia in mid, getting that kill onto Ye, and then getting out of dodge. Yeah, he gets picked off by Icy, but still he bought so much time for the other members of MIBR to formulate a plan on how they're going to retake this. What a nice flurry of trades as well.
It's a great shot out from our team there. I think one thing that, you know, we haven't really touched on, but I wonder how it impacts preparation and things of that nature, because let's be honest, Brazilian Valorant has its own flavor, right? It has its own brand, its own spice, if you will. This is now the third Brazilian team in a row EG has faced. Yeah. So they're getting through the gauntlet, or at least trying to, but this feels like it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, this MIBR, they've came so prepared. On this map, no footage of them specifically, so all the time to prepare, all the time to anti-strat. And another pick onto Ye, but a good trade this time. That could be an upgrade too, a Guardian in the hands of Superman.
Betrayed by the toes.
Yeah, not a good angle. Peek it into nature. Trying to be a distraction, but I think it's going to be another 3K for Artsy. And he's one off of that showstopper, Doug. He's having a map. It's like he's been unleashed. He's like, oh, I get to play Duelist again? Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment.
He's having a good time with it, too. Again, 6-0 from him so far.
And you kind of wonder if it's one of those things where it's like, he's like, yo, Frog, trust me, bro. Let me play the Raze on this map, man. Let me do it. And if he can't pull it off, Frog's just like, okay, you're back. You're back on initiator duty.
Hey, it's working so far.
Yeah.
Again, 6-0 from him, still has that judge. A Marshall for Aspas. A target found, not connecting though. But again, the help from Nazwer's perfect.
And what a punish on that default. For MIBR, Nature, he will even the score, this time winning the head-to-head against his counterpart. But look at the minimap. Look at how far Shenum has pushed up in this B main with that Bucky.
Dog got a lot of info. Nade traded, though.
And Ye, he gets all that space up A ramp. The rest of EG just waiting for any type of contact play being made. A good smoke. Artsy able to reposition, get closer up with that judge.
And again, his reposition there takes away the possibility of a contact up ramps into ropes.
Here.
Yeah, the way that MIBR have been maneuvering around this defensive side, it's honestly been a pleasure to watch. And there's a little bit of an off angle here from Nazwer. And he's going to win the head-to-head against Ye. Ye falling again. Not really able to get anything going in these duels.
The timing almost feels a little disjointed, right? Like, Ye was really far up A. Meanwhile, they were still kind of stuck up mid. They hadn't really made any pressure, and now Artzine
oh my gosh,
with the judge, and now on Pop looking for another target. Icy jumps over it. He's able to punish him back, and Nature helping. And now they can go back towards B. Remember, this would be the bonus for MIBR if they can pull it off, and Shenum's in a really good spot to do so, but Nature extinguishing that threat. Nazar with 3 on the round. Icy by himself. He was the catalyst for the possibility, but now he has to push it over the finish line himself. Thrust into a position to deliver for EG. What a disaster this would be. MIBR's already gotten it to half. They've got a smoke to conceal a little bit of that pressure. Nazar's just going to stick it the whole way. There was no answer. That's the bonus for MIBR.
The duo pulling through, full confidence in that stick, and the perfectly timed smoke from Osboss. Yeah, he loses the 1v1 against Icy, but he bought more than enough time for that diffuse to come through. But again, you are completely right. It was disjointed. Normally, when you're going for those lurk kills as a chamber, you wait for the main pack to make all the ruckus. Take the 50-50s. It's something that we saw MIBR do very well on the last map when they came back from a 4v5. MIBR convert the bonus, and now EG are left to their devices with this scrappy little buy, but they're fully investing into this.
They have 3 stingers. Icy has his ult. A lot of noise, Mayday, including that one, the big one. Payload will connect. Artsy now down, but
no heaven smoke.
Doesn't
matter.
Yeah, able to get traded back, though, from Ye. And now the spike planted. A position here to try to turn the tides. These are retake attempts that got a little messy on Abyss.
EG have to play a lot more discipline this time around. Yeah, the guns aren't in their favor, but these close-up angles, the Stinger can do a lot of work.
You're looking for one pick and then you can accelerate. That's not the pick I meant. If you're MIBR, that's the one you needed.
Yeah, it's done now, surely. Icy with the pickup as well.
Aspas will get his as he does.
Party's over.
Yeah, he's going hunting. He wants them all. Give him another one.
Certainly not enough time to win the round, but plenty of time to deal damage. Considerable one at that. Remember, the investment was a little weird here. Nature will carry a rifle over into the next, but that's all they can carry.
Yeah, a breath of life now for EG on this attacking side. A chance to get back into the swing of things. EG and Potter, she puts these boys through the ringer in scrims. I've been there firsthand, specifically playing out rounds, forcing up for moments like this when you're in a match and you need to win the next round. Stingers and full armor and a showstopper was all that was invested.
Light armor on Ye and the op online.
Ops on both ends. And they're going to clash right here in this A main.
Gonna have a couple of walls and a couple of flashes to pave the way, to forge a path.
Fake teleport, some conditioning done earlier. We saw Superman get punished on that default previously.
Taking a bite right out of his cheeks. Now taking a step back.
Yeah.
The op just not safe.
Yeah, Osboss needing to run all the way out of there. And a lot of smokes used. Ye is already posted up on this angle, though. All that utility giving the advantage to Ye to take whatever fight he thinks Osboss is going to be at.
Both curtains fall.
I mean, this is iconic.
Here.
Who's going to peek into one another? Ye, he's so good at holding the lines.
Oh, he's moving now.
Here we go.
Here.
And he knows. Barrel trained.
Pings it.
Crosshair steady. Oh! Spots wins it out.
He read him like a book.
Now they can move up towards mid, and that's exactly what MIBR are doing. Look at how much more aggressive Cortesia is in this position. Dodges the flash, not connecting. Icy falls. Trying to connect onto the transfer, looking every which way he can, and gets away with 2. It's criminal.
Disgusting work. Cortesia, he's really came to be in these last couple of matches, man. They got rolled by 100 Thieves, but the bounce back against Cloud9, that's where he really shines. Superman, he has no time. You're getting sucked off of the plant, into the nade as well. MIBR off of the pickup of Osboss's op. Convert that round. Cortesia looking snappy with it in mid as well.
9-1 from our team, but yeah, I think it was this kill right here.
It's so quick. You just know both players understand how each other like to maneuver around with that operator, what the rotations are going to be, but This is the difficult part of playing on land, peeking into an opera that's holding an angle already. Ye was waiting for it. He thought that Aspas would go all the way back around site, maybe give him a little peek right there, but Aspas, the one having the better read this time around, and honestly, having Ye's number.
2 and 5 for Ye here.
And on the last map, the stats of Aspas, the kills against the duelist of Icy, he was 8-2 against Icy, he was 8-3 against Ye. Doesn't really look like he's slowing down anytime soon either. The only one that's even close to being even with him is Superman. But he's just on Omen, man. He can't do it all. He's getting punished on these defaults as well. MIBR and Fraud specifically have done a really good job of prepping for how EG like to approach this attack side. Already punishing small things like Omen teleports, like where flashes are going in mid from the sky of Derek. On one player getting a 2K like that in mid, he knows the exact spot to play, understands that the flash isn't going to connect onto him because it goes into mail. Artsine once again on that judge. Aspas keeps that operator into the next round, and he switches up positions now in B main. Yay. He's at the other end of here, but only that chamber operator in play.
Let's play.
How will the second round go? It seems like Ye's actually rotating away.
Yeah, he helps get nature this deep B main aggression.
That pit is going to provide an extra layer of complication.
And again, Aspas is holding an off angle, waiting for Ye to walk into his angle. EG are going to need to set this chamber up.
But with what?
You have to flash. You have to flash the corner. Anything. Jump spot.
You don't take this dry, surely.
That's a good orb.
I love that smoke, and I love that dog. They're going to back him off, but I think Shenum's in a really good spot to make a play. And there it is. Only one found, though. Aspas staying alive, repositioning, tucking tail, staying away.
But Ye just gets dropped by Cortesia running ahead of that smoke in heaven.
They got the sight, though. They got the spike down. Weapons aren't great. Oh, both upgraded, though. Icy and Superman now with rifles in hand.
Surely you pop the jet knives on this retake.
Icy's in a really dangerous spot here if he plays his cards right, but he was just too weak.
Deleted.
Folds at the hands of the judge. But EG are somehow still in this fight. MIBR with the numbers advantage, however slight, but Derek cannot convert. Superman again, forced to deliver for EG. He's gotten it down to 1, and Superman does it again! The 4K in the Red Bull clutch for EG.
When his team needed him the most, he pulls through once again. 4 in the round, all headshots. But you can't keep winning off of heroics like this if you're EG. It's gotta be a team effort. That's what you're built upon.
Enemy remaining.
These headshots, though.
Nice! Let's go, baby. That's the father right there.
The Viet dad pulling through.
Bro, if he keeps playing like that, might need to call him daddy instead.
Whoop him in.
Wild.
Tell you what, I used to call him daddy.
Wild plays out from him. But Aspas again looking to turn the tide immediately. Blades aggressively across the middle of the map. And Ye has that op again.
Yeah, Superman picking that one up. Playing very slow. Pack mentality right now for EG.
That nade's going to cause some problems. I like this. For as many problems as Cortesia has caused EG across the middle of the map, we're starting to see some protocols to get him off of that, to displace him.
Yeah, he got taken down to 50 HP right there. Gets healed right back up. Able to get back on that line with the operator.
Glass cannon op, too.
Oh, good nade.
The Seekers are going to push them back all the way down steps. Now, you can choose to go A, where you've got Nature, who's taking some space, or you can turn back towards B.
Ye is fearless in this approach. He jumped all the way into hell by himself. Now the follow-up, though.
Shenum close by. Can play spoiler. They don't know that he's here, and I don't know that there's any utility to clear it. The flash is going to be so good. The swing is even better. Ye has to connect, and he cannot. Shenum with 3 of the round for MIBR.
And EG just drop like flies. Shenum, what an anchor. What a distraction from Nosware as well. That flash coming out of spawn. Everyone looking straight there. maybe not trusting Ye to hold that line for them. And Ye, he just can't quite connect onto that wide swing. Maybe a little bit in his head right now.
I mean, it's a tough shot to hit on a tight swing back from pillar, but
yeah, but those are shots he's known for,
right.
Doug.
The truth is,
especially on that chamber.
Yep.
The confidence just not playing a factor in this game right now. Now Aspas had an opportunity for another first blood, but can't quite hit the mark. Yeah, doesn't want to play with fire, playing a very passive angle here. It's quiet across the board right now from EG.
And there was fire on the other side. Aspas with the shorty in the smoke.
Jump spot should be heard here, but a little bit of doubt. You see, Cortesia was looking behind his back, but with that Skydog clearing all that A ramp, he's focused forward.
He has single-handedly been the thorn in their side from this exact spot.
Oh my gosh. This time around, it is a 1-for-1 though, and now an upgrade. A way in for EG to maybe get another thrifty round. Yay, he still has a Vandal of his own. Derek upgrades to a Sheriff. And it looks like everything's geared up towards this A split. But Superman, he's gonna have to find a fantastic timing right here coming out of this vent.
And he's gonna try. The wall goes down to Nazwer.
He has to wait. He has to wait for this A main pressure
to realize itself. You're absolutely right. The wall goes up, and that should be the timing for them to cross. Nazwer, again, ready for it. Sees it go up. Sees Superman fall. And now with 12 seconds left, they have no choice but to try to brute force their way in.
Oh, man.
And it's, again, just a mess.
Yeah, but what a genius move from Nazwer to put his back against that box so he can't be seen from anybody potentially walking up A ramp with that Viper wall being up. And yeah, he's playing like a maniac right now. Cortesia is playing like a maniac. Let's just say it. Artscene has had a judge almost every single round on this defensive side.
And he's getting multi-kills with it every time, too.
And they're vibing, man. They're vibing. EG on the other end, I mean, it's not looking too good over in that camp, man. Their faces are not happy. Oh, and if you're EG, you can't be happy about that. The double dip, not even required. 1-2 punch of Aspas and Nazwer, the duo. It just feels like something has changed in these last couple of rounds for MIBR. It looks like, yeah, they got thrifty, but they bounced right back.
There was a lot of reason to be excited for MIBR at the beginning of the season. I mean, Artscene, the potential, Nazwer, and then Aspas, of course, but they kind of stumbled out of the gates. This really feels like they found their footing, though.
Yeah, it's so weird because against 100 Thieves, if you were to look at that match, you were like, oh, they have a lot to work on. But the turnaround and how quickly they've been able to do it is what's most impressive, right?
They look like a different team here.
And look, I'm not saying this map is over by any means. But MIBR's composition, let's just put it on paper, it's favored on the attacking side. You have the double duelist to go absolutely crazy in sight.
I do think EG's comp, and historically, EG is also better built to play on defense. So that'll be good against good, but I think if you're EG here, again, given how Split has played out for you before, you've got to at least keep it competitive on attack. And this feels like MIBR are just set to run away with this thing.
It can't be heroics that pull EG over the edge. It needs to be the overall team play, and we're just not quite seeing it here. Maybe call it an off day, call it what you want, but this is an elimination match.
MIBR will get to 7. Aspas still has that up online. Financially, you take a look on the other side of the stage. EG not in a great spot.
You got to feel for Icy in that moment, man. I mean, he had no chance right there.
And so again, I want to go back to what you were saying a moment ago. This is an elimination match. This is also an elimination map, right? We're not talking about map 1 and there's time to, you know, we'll bounce back on map 2, this, that, and the other.
It's
go time now.
Second timeout blown. It's make it or break it for EG at this point. And Potter can identify that. As much as we've talked about Cortesia, Nazwer, the duo, Shenum having his moments in that anchoring. It's really been Artsine who stepped up to the plate here on this map of Split on this defensive side. He's 13-3 right now.
He's had a ridiculous performance.
A lot of kills with the Judge, sure, but those are kills that tilt you. To be on the opposite end of a Judge, we've all felt it in ranked.
Well, and also
it's the worst feeling in the world.
And also, I mean, it does. The truth is, it's still the kills, right? Like they're still converting those into round wins, regardless of what tool is being used to get them there.
And it throws you off your game because now, even if you're clearing these close corners, you're running in with the knowledge that, okay, it might not even do anything. I'm definitely going down. And I have to rely on who's behind me to get the trade.
Right.
And the trades have not been going through the way for EG. So already, you know, maybe some players losing some trust in one another.
7-2 down. MIBR looking really comfortable here.
And a must-win round for EG. No timeouts left. You need to get back into this. Give yourself a fighting chance on the defensive side. But look already, look at this spot that Artsine is at. This is one of those rounds where this spot goes unchecked. He hasn't played there not one time. Oh, he gets off the angle though. Off of that mid utility, off that mid info gathered by MIBR. It's a re-clear of B main.
Position given away. Toes exposed, kill found again.
Again.
This feels like they're forcing heroics. And I understand the need to find a pick to make something happen. It's just not converting.
Oh, the showstopper doesn't convert, but Derek will.
Meanwhile, Aspas has gone unchecked. That's a spike now on the ground. Nature striking at just the right moment. The second one will come through, and now Nature's left in 1v2. Spike out of hand, but opt to work with.
And that Viper's pit online as well.
For MIBR, though, they're approaching us from different fronts, and that can either be a blessing or a curse.
It's going to have to be another clutch from EG to stay in the mix of things.
Giving him the space to drop the pit. And Nature switch weapons. He's now got Phantom he can work with. Playing on the other side of this. Hearing one, spotting the other, and the snap again from Cortesia's filth.
That's insanity. Just not low enough. The Viper's pit not taking Cortesia down enough for Nature to just hit a little body shot, but he had the up on him. He had the up on them both. To hit a flick like that, we got to get that POV. All he might see is tracers. But no, it was a Phantom, wasn't it? Oh, barely. Sees him 1 HP.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
MIBR just looks so clean, and I think it's a lot of what we talked about in map 1, but it's rearing its head in map 2 as well. Cortesia has been insane. Artsine, as you mentioned, sitting at 15-4, and I think it's tough because MIBR are doing everything perfectly, and EG are struggling in every facet of the game.
Very well said, Doug. I mean, look at this. Even on another default, the paranoia is way too late. EG have truly crumbled in this moment, and they're getting picked apart by MIBR.
The surgeon scalpel that is MIBR right now is, I mean, it's perfect in every which way.
One enemy remaining.
It's just completely fallen apart to the point where Derek is left in a 1v5, and he's gotten 3.
He's gonna have the ult. No reason not to invest it here.
But he's sitting so low.
Cabbage is out, 45 HP. Both connecting. The spit. Oh gosh, if that was how he died. Derek still, again, has a shot. A slim shot, sure, but a shot at this.
Oh.
He's isolated it down to a 1v1. Cortesia's on the other side. And he gets 4, but 4 is just not enough.
And the look on Derek's face after that disbelief. After you get the 4th, you feel like you have it in the bag. Everybody else on your team is riding on you to bring it back. But it's such a tough ask. The fact that he's put in the spot in the first place.
Yeah.
Such a shame. MIBR sitting at 9-2. EG, we've already said it. They've been completely dismantled. tournament dreams look like they've been just sucked right out of them. Not seeing any type of energy over there.
No, it's 5 rounds in a row for MIBR. Full steam ahead.
It just looks so grim.
And it's, I mean, to be fair, it's not like they're not trying stuff. It's just nothing's working.
Yeah, and it's partly because of some really good prep work done early on from MIBR, punishing some defaults, but also a dismantling of chemistry and team play from the side of EG. Like that paranoia not coming out for Icy in that moment. I mean, he's left on an island with a player in a ramp that's not flushed out at all. Artsine gets another first blood.
He's going to have a shot at a second kill, too. The flash is nice, though. Artsine down.
It is a free A site.
Yeah, able to strike. The cabbage is out. Going to give position away. Nazar's there on the trade. I mean, Superman's out on site, and now the rest of EG is going to be able to join him. This goes without saying. They need this round.
They absolutely need the 9-3 curse. Bring it back for Derek if you're an EG fan.
They're in a position to do so.
Oh,
Superman's position's been given away. Spotted now, the Roomba there. Nazar looking for any window that he can find. And again, time is a factor here. The spike has been ticking for a little while. Cortezia again, and now Shenum as well. When it looks like there's a window in, MIBR again just do whatever they want. It's a 10-2 half.
Yeah, it's a masterful show of a defensive side of Split. MIBR looks so impressive on this map. They've taken advantage of EG every step of the way. And even with that crazy clutch that we saw earlier from Superman, they didn't let it get to them at all.
I mean, they have such a buffer of a lead that,
yeah.
I mean, even if it does get to them a little bit, they have enough that they can fall back on. 10-2 half, EG staring down the barrel of elimination. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It has been all MIBR all the way here on Split, a 10-2 half, and they're now, 3 rounds away from surviving, from eliminating EG, and from keeping their Bangkok hopes and dreams alive. I think, we mentioned it, Dre, in the first half. This roster looked like it would be really good on paper. They stumbled out of the gates at the beginning and kickoff, but this does not look like the same team we saw earlier. Yeah, MIBR look insane right now.
I most definitely wrote them off, especially after that loss to 100 Thieves and in the manner that it happened. But again, the way that they've turned it around in such a short span of time, it truly needs to be studied.
Did the flash get...
Oh.
That was not supposed to stop there. Superman's still in a really good spot, though. He's able to get 1. Ye does 2. Connecting onto the 3rd.
Spike down B.
They needed the pistol, and it seems like they're going to be able to convert it. But this is where the hurdles have been for EG. This is not the first time something like this happens. Fortunately for them, the trip catches. Cortezia still gets the kill. The Spit trying to push Icy off the line. Nosworth's getting it down to a 1v2, but Ye gets his 3, so do EG.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty from Superman. A lot of whiffage going on, but I mean, sometimes you just can't connect on the satchels happening, and it happens. But yay, he gets 3 into this round, doubling his kills in this map. A nice shot right there. Cleaning up house right at the end there too. But if EG wanted any hopes of coming back into this, they needed to win the pistol round. MIBR, they lost both pistols on the previous map. They won theirs on the defensive side, so a chance now, a glimmer of hope if EG can convert this round cleanly. You need every advantage you can if you want to make a comeback this grand. And MIBR playing super slow. Really running down that time right now, putting doubt in the minds of EG.
He saw the gun barrel, surely.
Just a little too fearful to take that extra step out, even with a teleport. And it's Icy that will get the kill, but he's going to get punished on the trade right now. Uh-oh.
Artzine's able to find a free one. Still hanging on to the classic. Meanwhile, the dog pushing Aspas off the line. That's another big kill out from Ye, who invested into the Outlaw this time around.
Teleport's ready.
They still have a little bit of space. MIBR do up mid. Ye had nowhere to go. This is getting very messy. It's all onto Derek and Superman now. Remember, this was the anti for them. Like, this is the round that they were supposed to be able to convert.
And cleanly, too.
13 seconds left. Derek has a lot to do here. And that very well might be the dagger. A thrifty round win for MIBR. EG back on a broken bye, and I don't know how you bounce back from that.
MIBR played it so slow and methodical on this attacking side, even with worse weaponry. And Ye, the pressure may be unsurmountable, making huge mistakes, Doug. Not reloading any of his weapons. Getting stuck in a pickle. Teleporting back. Potter can't even believe it. And she can't bail them out of this anymore. MIBR have dismantled EG in every way. The gunfights, the strategy, utility. EG are looking lost right now, and they have to force into this round because of it.
And it's another slow, quiet round from MIBR. Very similar, very reminiscent to what we saw in the previous round.
Great discipline.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Crosshair's not right.
Oh.
Still connects onto Shenum.
A little bit more confidence this time around. And it's a stack for EG.
Gonna play on the other side of this wall. Icy not able to settle the shot. Superman will fall. But Ye has arrived at the scene. He's already gotten 3 on the round. Popping his ult, looking for magic. Playing committed. Remember, it's Aspas who's got the Outlaw on the other side, and he will win that duel.
Again and again.
2v2 now. Icy with rifle in hand. Switching over to the lighter weaponry. Has 2 satchels. You imagine there's going to be a spark to go.
Satchel out.
And there it is. First one popped and instantly dropped.
Toxins going up.
What can Nature do? I mean, MIBR has such a good setup here. Yeah, Aspas is a little weak, but they have every single angle considered, everything cornered. And that's MIBR at 12. That's not just map point, that's series point.
And that's the power of the double duelist, Doug. Yeah, they're down numbers. Ye does his best to climb back into the round, make up for the mistake in the previous. But it's just not enough. The overwhelming force onto the actual site. Look at that flash. Superman has no chance. So many targets jumping around his screen. And Aspas just doing Aspas things, baby.
That's done. Quick break.
11 and 8 from him. Again, our team 20 and 9. And so, the last attempt, the last hope for Evil Geniuses.
It just feels like with the way that MIBR have been playing. There's no way EG have a chance into this.
It's a hard sell. And again, it's Aspas. It's a protagonist. 2 kills found. The scraps of weapons that EG bring into this round are going to make things even more complicated. How do you retake into 4 with 2 stingers and a shorty?
I'll tell you how it all starts with Ye right here on this flank.
It may have to start there, but I don't know that it's ever going to leave the gates. Derek and Nature now, the last 2 standing. Shoulder spotted on 1. You know the flash is going to be close. It's going to be aggressive. Traded 1 for 1. Cortesia gets the last, and MIBR obliterate EG 13-3 on map 2 to survive, to advance.
Yeah, that wasn't a match. That was a massacre. MIBR again, they outclassed EG in every department on this map of Split. Abyss was close, but this was just a complete outplay in mechanical skill, strategy. EG just getting ran circles around. And for MIBR, this was more than just a win. This was them announcing themselves as a serious threat in this tournament. It's so quiet in here. It's genuinely so quiet in here.
MIBR look insane. And again, this is what you wanted to see from this roster. You wanted to see Aspas in a comfortable position. I love that they busted out the double duelist comp. Our team looked spectacular. And yes, a lot of it was building momentum off the judge kills in the first half, but he found his footing, and they were able to convert that into this win. 13-3 on map 2 is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, every single player on this team as well in this series had their moment. Shenum, he was sitting kind of low at the scoreboard on that second map, but the moments that he had anchoring were so impactful, getting crucial 3Ks. Cortesia, his lurk timings, he looked so much more confident today than he did even in the previous series in which he was at the top of the scoreboard as well.
I would argue for Cortesia in particular, it wasn't even necessarily his lurk timings. His defensive side on Viper on Split was a treat to watch. He was stalwart. He was unmovable from that position, and EG were never really able to find a way to solve that problem.
And such an interesting choice of a composition as well from Fraud, bringing back the double duelist. Putting Artsine on that raise. I mean, he really had those big moments as well, shining through. Aspas, he was the one on the attacking side that was the forefront to close things out, but that defensive side from MIBR, if you're any team going up against them in the future, you gotta do some serious prep work, man.
It will be a tricky wicket to solve. I mean, again, for MIBR to look as complete as they did today, particularly on map 2, as you said, just really kind of announces, hey, this is a team who had a lot of hope, who had a lot of potential at the beginning of the season, and are starting to find their stride at just the right time.
Yeah, and for MIBR Aspas, he's been a great leader to this team so far. I'm very excited to see what more he can do in the future.
They will have another chance to play on the stage. They'll have another chance to show us what they're made of. We're going to send it down to Elizabeth at the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And you can hear a pin drop in this room. But I want everyone here to give it up for Shenum of MIBR. Because that was this is more, you guys. Absolutely. That was an insane performance. The first question I want to ask you is, how did Split happen? Just frankly, how did that happen?
Primeiramente, muito barulho para você, né? Você jogou muito. E o que aconteceu no Split?
Mano, sendo sincero, eu nem vi a boneco direito, os caras tá matando tudo. Mas no final ali deu pra fazer um round de xerife, pelo menos no eco. Então, mano, muito orgulhoso de todo mundo do time. Sinto que eu tô jogando bem também, então mas amanhã tem jogo de novo.
To be honest, I don't even know what's happening there. I was barely seeing any agents, and we had a very good echo. I was playing with the sheriff, so it worked it out.
Do you think you have been underestimated by everyone in the community, including the talent, including players?
Você acha que tem sido subestimado por todo mundo na comunidade, incluindo aí players, cast, fãs?
Cara, sendo sincero, pra mim é indiferente, eu não ligo pra nada disso, então se eles estão falando mal é porque eles queriam estar no meu lugar, e é isso.
Okay, I don't really care about that, to be honest, and if they're talking trash, it's because they wanted to be on my place.
Dang, okay. Your challenges only get harder from here. It is a continued lower bracket run facing harder and harder teams. How do you feel prepared, or how do you feel going into those matches?
Vai ficar cada vez mais difícil agora na Lower, né? Vocês vão enfrentar times cada vez mais difíceis. Então, como é que tá a expectativa para isso, para o fim do kickoff?
A expectativa boa, a gente já tem jogo amanhã, acho que é muito direto os jogos agora, então não vai ter mais, assim, treino, vamos dizer. E a gente tá bem confiante, todo o time, acho que a gente se preparou bem essa semana, teve uma semana de treino. E qualquer um que vir agora, Leviathan, né? A gente vai jogar bem, vai dar nice.
We're very confident. We have game tomorrow again, so we won't have a lot of time to practice. But, Leviathan is coming, so we'll be just ready for whatever.
2 more questions for you. One is a fan question that someone didn't leave their name. How do you make split-second decisions in clutch moments?
Essa é uma pergunta de um fã. Como é que você faz essas decisões assim num piscar de olhos, cara?
De clutch, você disse?
De decisões difíceis num piscar de olhos.
Cara, não sei, acho que já virou um pouco mais automático, vamos dizer. Acho que tava pecando isso até no off-season, acho que eu consegui arrumar bastante meu estilo de jogo, né? Até por ser um novo time. Então, acho que é isso, acho que deve ser bem calmo, né? Ser calmo.
I think it's something that comes automatically. Like, I got way better since the off-season. It just comes because I'm calm, I guess. So we just need to be calm.
All right, one last question for you. I feel like you have a lot to say, so I'm going to give you free reign to anyone you like to call out or say, whatever you want to say. Floor is yours. Don't make me regret this, but the floor is yours.
Por favor, não faça a gente se arrepender disso, mas se você tiver alguma coisa para tirar do teu peito, a hora é essa.
Não, nenhuma. Tô em paz, é isso. Tô preparado só para jogar amanhã e é isso. Não tem nada para falar.
I have nothing to say. I'm in peace. I'm ready to play tomorrow. And that's it. That's pretty much it.
You were like the coolest dude alive. Guys, give it up for Shunnam one more time. An incredible performance. Now we're going to take a break, but stay right there because I know you know what's next. It is Crew Visa versus NRG.
I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
저는 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this! Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.